Hello and welcome back to A Real Horror Show, the YouTube channel dedicated to all things horror. I know, I can't believe it either, 2 videos in a week, that is a brand new record for me, but like I said in the last video, I am back and I'm ready to bring you guys consistent great content. And in today's video we're going to be taking a look at a lot of upcoming horror collectibles, action figures, statues, etc. from various different companies, from Mezco to NECA to MONDO, and you get the idea. A lot of these upcoming horror collectibles were showcased and unveiled at recent events such as the San Diego Comic-Con for example, and for some of these items information about them might be scarce, but thanks to the website 𝙤𝙊𝙎𝙑 we've got plenty of photographs of all these collectibles that I'm going to talk about. So without further ado, let's get into it. So, coming up first from the company Hiya Toys is a range of Texas Chainsaw Massacre figures depicting the chainsaw-wielding maniac Leatherface, as he appears in both the 2003 remake and the 2022 Netflix sequel to the 1974 original. The 2022 Leatherface figure is coming in 2 variants, a regular variant and a much gorier slaughter version. The regular edition features interchangeable hands, 15 points of articulation, a lovely looking little wooden display base, and of course his iconic chainsaw. The Slaughter edition is very similar to the regular variant, besides, as you may expect, Leatherface is covered in blood, and in addition to other accessories includes Melody's decapitated head. Very nice. Both of these figures stand at around 4.5 inches tall, so definitely on the smaller side than the average action figure. However, from looking at the San Diego Comic-Con photos, it seems that Hiya Toys will be releasing the Slaughter variant in a regular 7-inch scale. Personally, I won't be wanting to pick these guys up myself, as Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2022 was an absolute travesty, with the only redeeming factor being the last shot of the movie that honestly almost brought me to tears with laughter. But despite my biased views of the movie, these figures do look quite cool and very accurate to how Leatherface is depicted in that movie. As for the 2003 Leatherface, which I would definitely be more inclined to pick up, this figure also comes with 15 points of articulation, his trusty chainsaw, and an interchangeable hand so he can wield a giant hammer accessory. I've always been a big fan of Leatherface's depiction in the 2003 remake, so it's cool to see more figures of this version of Leatherface being made. The only downside is that so far it seems like this Leatherface is only being released in the 4.5 inch scale, but hopefully he will also get the 7-inch treatment. Now moving on to Mezco Toys, the company did showcase a couple of upcoming figures in their 112 collective range. Firstly, we have the red pyramid thing from Silent Hill 2, and for those who don't know, yes, that is Pyramid Head's real name in the game. It is the red pyramid thing, but for the sake of this video I'm just going to call him Pyramid Head. This new figure presents the infamous Silent Hill executioner in all his gruesome glory, from the rusted red pyramid thing on his head to his giant sword. The figure comes with a lot of features including 20 points of articulation, 2 different helmets, and 12 interchangeable hands. As for accessories, Pyramid Head comes with a great sword, a great spear, blood splatter FX pieces, which I think look really great and add a lot of life to this figure, a 112 display base with logo, and an adjustable display post, and finally 9 additional creepers from the game and a mannequin creature. So it's safe to say there's definitely no shortage of accessories with this guy. Overall, I think the figure looks really great, especially due to the great looking paint job on the figure and the realistic weathered clothing, and Pyramid Head is set to release sometime in October. Also coming from Mezco Toys is their 112 collective figure of Eric Draven from The Crow, famously portrayed by the late great Brandon Lee of course, and I've got to say that Mezco have pulled out all the stops with this Eric Draven figure, as the sheer number of accessories that come with this guy is pretty impressive. As you would expect, Eric is featured in his iconic all-black costume featuring leather-like motorcycle pants and a long overcoat which can be removed. He also comes with 4 head sculpts that have a really great resemblance to Brandon Lee, especially when you consider that this is in 1/12 scale. The angry face in particular is the one I'm a big fan of here. In addition to the 10 interchangeable hands and over 30 points of articulation, Eric Draven comes with a vast array of accessories. These include his black electric guitar, a katana, the Poirot mask, I think I'm saying that right, or Piero, the clown mask, which by the way is a really nice touch with this figure, an engagement ring necklace, a knife, a lighter, a weather vane, his tombstone, a sitting crow that attaches to the tombstone, a flying crow that attaches to the display base, Gabriel the cat, and finally a crow-shaped flame display to create one of the coolest scenes in the movie, as well as acting as a very nice base for the figure itself. It is safe to say that you will get your money's worth with this release from Mezco. They have truly given �12𝙉𝙎 the ultimate treatment here. Eric's release date is yet to be decided as of the making of this video. As the name of the line suggests, these figures are in 1/12 scale and stand roughly 6 to 7 inches high. I actually don't own any of the Mezco 1/12 collective figures, but the line has been going on for quite a while now, and there has been some really nice releases in the past, and I'm certain that these new ones will not be a disappointment. So up next, we'll be taking a look at some upcoming releases from PCS, aka Premium Collectibles Studio, which for those who aren't familiar with the name, are a company that manufacture high quality, which translates to expensive, pop culture, statues and collectibles. They've tackled many horror icons in the past such as Michael Myers, Pumpkinhead, and more recently Leatherface in 2 variants and Ghostface. And on display at this year's San Diego Comic-Con, there were a few upcoming premium statues that horror fans would love to rinse their bank accounts on, including myself. First up is Egon Spengler, as played by the great Harold Ramis, as he appears in one of the greatest movies ever made, Ghostbusters. And that's not an opinion, it's a fact. And right off the bat, I've got to say, this statue is stunning. Egon stands at a height of 19 inches, making this a quarter scale statue, and is a fully sculpted piece. Although a mixed media piece would have been really nice, especially if the Ghostbusters flight suit was made of real fabrics, I think PCS have gone the right route by making this fully sculpted. Mixed media pieces can be seriously hit or miss, especially when it comes to the hair on the statues, and overall having it be a mixed media piece would make the statue a lot more expensive. And they've honestly got Egon looking perfect here. All of the details of Egon's iconic look are here and recreated beautifully. Now for the bad part. Egon is posed to be using his proton pack, however the actual proton stream is only available in the deluxe edition of the statue, which costs around $50 more. Now this isn't anything too shocking because these companies always make deluxe versions or exclusive versions of their statues. That's just the way it is these days. But I think in this case the proton beam should be included with every version of the statue, since that's how he is pre-posed. On top of the deluxe edition of Egon, there is also an exclusive edition which also includes none other than Slimer. Just like Egon, Slimer is sculpted to perfection and looks just like he came out of the movie. He looks really good. The same can't be said, however, for PCS's other upcoming Ghostbusters statue, which is Ray Stantz.
It's right here, Ray. It's looking at me.
He's an ugly little spud, isn't he?
I think he can hear you, Ray.
Yeah, I'm really hoping that PCS consider redoing that sculpt. I don't know what it is, but I'm getting more Matt Damon vibes from the statue than I am Dan Aykroyd. I mean, it's close to Dan Aykroyd, but still far away at the same time. However, from the neck down, Ray looks fantastic, just like the Egon statue, and the ecto goggles on the head are a really nice touch as well. I think if PCS made a head sculpt of Ray with the cigarette hanging in his mouth from the scene where he sees Slimer for the first time, they'd definitely be on for a winner there, and it would definitely propel this statue to near perfection. But who knows, maybe you'll get that extra head sculpt in the exclusive edition. Now, by far the most exciting horror statue coming from PCS this year is without a doubt the 1:3 scale Candyman statue as portrayed by Tony Todd. This statue was finally showcased at the recent San Diego Comic-Con and he looks absolutely unreal. I think that PCS have definitely knocked it out of the park with this guy. The detail is magnificent, the head sculpt is a fantastic likeness to Tony Todd, and on top of that it's a mixed media piece as his big overcoat and the rest of his wardrobe is made from real fabrics. Furthermore, the stand he's on looks extremely gnarly. I love how the design of the display is his ribcage with the bees and the honeycomb coming out of it, and on top of that it's surrounded by skulls. Now, what more can you ask for than that? I've also noticed from the photos he comes with a jar of bees, and of course he's equipped with his infamous hook hand. This piece is surely going to be a really expensive one, but it will definitely make for an incredible and imposing statue in anybody's collection. Now, before we move on from PCS Collectibles, I thought I would also quickly mention that they are making a 1:4 scale statue of Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, as played by Christian Bale. This was announced last year and isn't particularly new news, but it is an upcoming statue and worth a mention, as this is also a really brilliant looking piece. There are 3 variations of this statue: a collector's edition, a deluxe edition with his trusty raincoat, and a final bloody edition which helps recreate the most iconic scene from the movie.
Hey, Paul!
The head sculpt has a great likeness to Christian Bale, but the alternate head that comes with the bloody edition is, in my opinion, a little goofy looking. But I'm not actually sure if that's a good thing or not. His character is pretty goofy, especially in this scene, so I guess it captures that pretty well. Another nice touch is the movie scenes that wrap around the statue's base. I'm particularly fond of the marble texture that they've gone with here. I think that's a really nice touch. All versions of the statue depict Bateman holding an axe, and he's a mixed media piece. Overall, he is
Impressive. Very nice.
Now, before we get to the next part of today's video, I just want to take the time to say thank you very much for joining me here today on my channel. If you love all things horror and videos about horror collectibles, as well as horror reviews and everything in between those two things, then this channel is definitely the place for you. So please consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss out on any of my future content, and please leave a comment in the comment section below telling me which horror collectible you're most excited for this year. Now, for the part that I'm sure most people are excited to see, the NECA section. And of course, the folks over at NECA are bringing us some absolutely awesome figure releases this year. And at San Diego Comic-Con, NECA showcased quite a lot of upcoming collectibles, mainly ones in the Ultimate figure line. So let's dive into these upcoming NECA collectibles, starting with the most prominent line of upcoming figures, the Universal Monsters. And as you can see, I am dressed for the occasion, repping the great Boris Karloff. My girlfriend got me this awesome shirt. Thank you, babe. And well, what a better place to start than the monster who started it all, Frankenstein. More specifically, Frankenstein as he appeared in the 1935 classic, The Bride of Frankenstein. However, this time the Ultimate Frankenstein figure is going to be included in a deluxe set and come along with a whole dungeon chair display piece that the monster can be shackled to as seen in the movie. Recently we've seen NECA release these great diorama accessory sets for the Universal Monsters line, including one for Dracula, the Mummy, and previously Frankenstein, depicting the iconic operating table. So it's cool to see one of these sets include a whole new figure with it as a single release. And in classic NECA fashion, this Ultimate figure is loaded with accessories, including a mug, a bowl, a loaf of bread, but the best accessory, without a doubt, is the monster's alternate hand that's holding a cigar. Now you can recreate the scene where the monster is puffing away on a big cigar with his new friend. That's brilliant. Additionally, Frankenstein comes with a total of 3 head sculpts with an absolute spot-on likeness of the great Boris Karloff. And as usual, the paint application is perfection. As for the dungeon chair, it's a really great looking display set with a fantastic paint application. The figure of the monster looks brilliant shackled into the chair, and it really does make for a great looking display piece. But what is a groom without his bride? And here she comes. That's right, NECA Toys' Ultimate Bride of Frankenstein is being given the movie authentic black and white treatment to go along with the new Frankenstein release we've just talked about. The same case can be said for seemingly every figure in this line, such as Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon for example. They're being released in both colour and black and white variations. I'm personally a big fan of this. I like that NECA are giving collectors the option to have a coloured action figure or a movie authentic black and white version, so I can't really complain that we're getting even more Universal Monsters goodness. Of course, for the die-hard collectors out there, this means spending double bubble for multiple action figures, if of course you want to complete the full collection of Universal Monsters. But to look at this new variant of the Bride of Frankenstein Ultimate figure, she comes with the same accessories and sculpt as the colour edition. This includes bandages, a removable gown, 2 pairs of hands, and 3 interchangeable head sculpts, the likes of which bear a perfect likeness to actress Elsa Lanchester. And for the movie buffs out there and the guys who love movie trivia, did you know that Elsa Lanchester also played Katie Nana in the movie Mary Poppins? The more you know. I also have to say that I adore the window box packaging on these NECA Universal Monster figures. The vintage artwork is just so beautiful, and it is a really wonderful touch to these figures. In addition to the Bride of Frankenstein figures, NECA showcased their ultimate creature from the Black Lagoon at San Diego Comic-Con in both the colour and black and white variants. The Gill Man comes with 3 pairs of hands and 3 interchangeable head sculpts, and I've got to say that these guys look absolutely phenomenal. NECA have really outdone themselves with this sculpt and paint application. The detail is magnificent, and I definitely cannot wait to pick these guys up and add them to the collection. And of course they also come in that vintage window box design, just like the rest of the figures within this line. Now the final Universal Monsters Ultimate figure that NECA showcased at San Diego Comic-Con is the one that I am probably the most excited about, and it's none other than the Phantom of the Opera, as portrayed by the man of 1,000 faces, Lon Chaney. Now this figure it's just awesome. NECA have done an impeccable job of creating the Phantom's haunting and terrifying visage from the celebrated 1925 classic in action figure form. For those who don't know, Lon Chaney actually designed, created and applied the Phantom's makeup himself. In fact, it is due to his makeup skills and talent that he was given the name the Man of 1,000 Faces. To this day, just thinking about that, I'm still amazed over Lon Chaney's talent, and I can only imagine how terrifying those scenes in that film must have been for moviegoers back in 1925, almost 100 years ago. Truly legendary. The Phantom comes with a total of 5 interchangeable heads, capturing many different expressions of the Phantom, including him with his disguise mask, which I actually find quite unsettling, a bamboo stick, a fabric cloak and a hat. The Phantom is also probably going to be given that black and white variant treatment, and also he is coming in one of those beautiful vintage display window boxes. But besides the Universal Monsters, NECA did showcase more upcoming Ultimate figures, and just like the Phantom, these next 2 are figures that I'm so excited for, and I just know I need to add them to my collection. Firstly, we've got the absolutely iconic Count Orlok as played by Max Schreck in the infamous 1922 film Nosferatu. NECA have given Count Orlok the truly ultimate treatment for the 100-year anniversary, as he comes with a plethora of accessories. These include keys on a chain, a hat, a quill pen with an ink pot, a replica letter and bottle. Additionally, the Count comes with multiple sets of hands and 3 interchangeable heads. As for the head sculpt and paint applications, NECA have, of course, got it spot on and have recreated the terrifying look of Count Orlok perfectly. And did you know that Max Schreck's performance of Count Orlok was so scary that rumours began to circulate that he was, in fact, an actual vampire? Now, if that's not the ultimate compliment to his performance, I don't know what is. Count Orlok will also more than likely be given the black and white treatment and come in the same window box packaging. And last but not least, we have the upcoming Ultimate figure that, besides the Phantom, is definitely the one that I am the most excited for from NECA. And it's once again the Man of 1,000 Faces, Lon Chaney, but this time in his performance as Professor Edward C. Burke, or the Man in the Beaver Hat, from the 1927 film London After Midnight. Now, if you haven't heard of this film before, or you don't recall seeing a film called London After Midnight, that's because it's actually a lost movie. It's probably the most sought after lost film of all time. The last known copy of the film reel was destroyed in the 1965 MGM fire inside the vault at MGM Studios, and this fire unfortunately also destroyed hundreds of other movies from that era. From the photos at San Diego Comic-Con, we can see that the figure of Burke comes with 2 alternate head sculpts, a hat and a lantern. Although there are only still images out there from the movie, NECA have done a great job of recreating the Man in the Beaver hat from these available materials. Like many horror fans and movie buffs, I'm devastated that this movie has been lost to time, because Lon Chaney's depiction of this character looks truly scary, and these surviving images that exist from the movie just act as a testament to Lon Chaney's makeup abilities. We can only hope that there was more than that one known existing copy of the film, and one day it might just turn up. Next up, for you slasher movie fans out there, we've got the Ultimate Miner figure from 1981's My Bloody Valentine. We've seen the Miner before in a retro cloth figure release, which initially was an exclusive from Scream Factory, so it's really nice to see the Miner get that ultimate 7-inch action figure treatment. Equipped with a knife, a nail gun and his trusty pickaxe, NECA have done a magnificent job on this underrated 80s slasher. And I've got to say, the heart-shaped chocolate boxes is a really nice addition to this figure get to. The Minor also comes in a window display box showcasing the movie poster on the front. Now, the Minor isn't the only 80s horror icon we'll be getting from NECA this year, as they are also bringing us the third Ultimate MacReady figure, as played by Kurt Russell, from John Carpenter's 1982 masterpiece, The Thing. This time it's MacReady as he appears in the finale of the film as he prepares to destroy Outpost 31 Research Center and take the shape-shifting alien down with it. From the San Diego Comic-Con images, we can see that MacReady is armed with a torch, multiple Molotovs and explosives, and a detonation box. This figure bears a great likeness to Kurt Russell, and similarly to the previously released Outpost 31 MacReady figure, he will come with his cowboy hat. In addition to MacReady, NECA also showcased their upcoming Ultimate Deluxe Dog Creature box set. That was a mouthful, and honestly, this set looks incredible. This is without a doubt one of the most horrifying and gruesome spectacles from the 1982 classic, thanks to the unreal special effects work by the great Rob Bottin, and it's so good to see this monstrosity receive the action figure treatment. I really hope that in the future we may also get a Norris Deluxe set with the giant worm-like creature coming from Norris's chest, and an additional spider head figure. Come on NECA, you know we want it. I know that you guys want to do it, so let's have it. Now, the dog creature comes with an impressive 25 interchangeable pieces, so you can customize your dog creature any way that you like for your display. I mean, just look how gnarly this thing looks. The dog creature will come in a deluxe 5-panel window box, which I assume will be something similar to the packaging that we got for the American Werewolf in London Kessler Wolf that was released not long ago, and we can actually see in these San Diego Comic-Con screenshots a glimpse of that packaging in the background. Now, for something slightly more left field, NECA also showcased some upcoming additions to the Puppet Master figure line. This time it's a 2-pack featuring Jester and 6-Shooter from the cult classic series. Similar to previous releases, such as the one of Blade and Torch, both puppet figures will stand at around 4.3 inches tall and come in window box packaging that replicates a puppet case. It's kind of hard to see what accessories these guys will come with from the San Diego Comic-Con photos, but we can see that Jester comes with an alternate head and an oversized mallet, and 6-Shooter comes with, unsurprisingly, 6 pistols. And I've got to say that both these guys look absolutely fantastic and extremely accurate to their on-screen depictions. I particularly love the head sculpt and the paint application of 6-Shooter, and this is a definite must-have for any Puppet Master collector out there. Now, the last set of Ultimate figures coming from NECA Toys that were showcased at San Diego Comic-Con are from more modern horror franchises, kind of. Starting with Chucky from season 1 of the recent Child's Play TV show. Now, I've got to admit, I wasn't really a fan of the TV show, like, at all. And it's a shame because I really hold the Child's Play franchise near and dear. But I was hoping that this series was going to take Chucky back to its horror roots, kind of in a similar vein to Child's Play 1 and 2, and it didn't really do that. But the main part of it is I found pretty much all the characters to be absolutely insufferable. Well, besides Chucky. Any scene involving Chucky was the highlight for me, unsurprisingly. And NECA have brought this new rendition of Chucky to the Ultimate figure line, and he looks great. The sculpt and paint application on this guy is absolutely perfect. Despite me being not a huge fan of Chucky's new look in this TV show, I just think the good guy face looks, I don't know, just off to me. He has been very faithfully recreated here in action figure form. The murderous doll stands at around 4 inches tall and comes with 4 interchangeable head sculpts. And the melted face one in particular I am a big fan of. A burnt arm to go along with that head sculpt, a bundle of syringes, and of course a kitchen knife. But without a doubt, the best aspect of this figure is this interchangeable hand right here. That's brilliant. Chucky will come in the classic window box packaging. Secondly, we have the Ultimate Valak figure, who is the demonic nun from the Conjuring universe. Valak features a full fabric costume and comes with multiple accessories, including an alternate head, an alternate set of hands, an orb containing the blood of Christ, and Valak's own portrait. It's truly a mug that only a mother could love. The head sculpts and paint applications are top notch on this figure, and Valak is certainly a must-have for any fans out there of the Conjuring universe. Once again, Valak comes in the collector-friendly window box packaging. Now, the penultimate figure that we're going to be taking a look at today is none other than the boogeyman himself, Michael Myers, as he appears in the greatest horror sequel of all time, Halloween Ends. I can't even say that with a straight face. But despite my personal feelings for Halloween Ends, NECA have truly knocked the ball out of the park with this Ultimate Michael Myers, as he is perfectly recreated here in ultimate figure form. The sculpting and detailing are spot on. Michael comes with an alternate head sculpt and hands, a pumpkin, and of course it wouldn't be Michael Myers without his kitchen knife, of which he has 3 in this release. Michael will also come in the window box packaging. Now let's move on before this becomes a Halloween Ends Rage video, and heaven knows I've already done one of those. Now the final upcoming ultimate figure from NECA Toys that we'll be taking a look at today was actually showcased just yesterday for the first time and unveiled at PowerCon, and it's a Scream 6 inspired Ghostface figure, appropriately named Ghostface Takes Manhattan. I absolutely love the name of this release. It's a great title and something that not just myself, but I'm sure many other horror fans were calling Scream 6 when it was initially announced that it'd be taking place in Manhattan. This ultimate Ghostface figure is packed with many different accessories and mask variations, including the classic white mask, the aged and weathered Scream 6 mask, a glow-in-the-dark mask, a rainbow mask, and a gory bloodied up mask. When looking at accessories, Ghostface comes with 2 Bowie knives, one of which glows in the dark, his voice changer, and by far the best aspects of this figure, a Play Kill magazine, which is a parody of the New York-based magazine Playbill, a magazine made for theatre goers, and a little Statue of Liberty miniature souvenir. Ghostface is also dressed in a full fabric costume and comes in the ultimate window box packaging. Overall, this figure looks fantastic. I love the design of Ghostface here, and I really love the design of the artwork on the packaging. I love that this figure has a sense of humour too. The only problem with this figure is that it is going to be a New York Comic Con exclusive, which means for British boys like myself, I'd find it to be a very hard time trying to get hold of this figure without having to pay scalper prices on eBay. But moving on completely from NECA's Ultimate line now, they also showcase some upcoming House of 1,000 Corpses collectibles ready for the film's 20th anniversary. This includes 3 stylized little big head statues of Captain Spaulding, Otis, and Baby Firefly, and a few action figures as well. The first 2 figures, Otis and Captain Spaulding, actually look to be reissues of old figures from the much loved NECA Cult Classics line. Otis is presented in his red cult clothing, black and white skull makeup, and comes with a lantern and a ceremonial book. Captain Spaulding, on the other hand, is sporting his all-American blue suit that he wears during his tour of the Murder Ride as seen in the movie, and comes with a red, white and blue cane. So if you've always wanted these NECA 7-inch scale action figures from House of 1,000 Corpses but missed out initially when they were released back in the day with the NECA Cult Classics line, now is your chance to pick these guys up for your collection. Now the final House of 1,000 Corpses collectible coming from NECA Toys is an 8-inch retro cloth 20th anniversary Captain Spaulding figure. This seems to be another reissue, this time of the previously released 8-inch clothed Spaulding figure, which by the way is certainly one of the best from that figure line, mainly due to the beautiful job NECA did on recreating Spaulding's iconic costume in real fabric and also giving him a magnificent head sculpt, which is also on display on this figure. Spaulding will also come with a bag of fried chicken and 2 alternate hands that similarly, such a weird word, to the upcoming Ultimate Chucky, allow Spaulding to flip the bird. This figure will come in a special 20th anniversary window box, so if you missed out on this retro cloth Spaulding in the past, here's your chance to pick him up. And the penultimate company we'll be taking a look at today, who is bringing us some extremely exciting upcoming horror collectibles, is none other than MONDO, and they will be releasing a few 1/6 scale collectible figures in the near future, starting with Mithrigan, and MONDO have done a really impressive job with this figure of this little robotic terror. From the highly detailed movie accurate outfit to the honestly phenomenal looking head sculpt, MONDO have certainly nailed it. I especially love that she comes with that alternate battle damaged head too. In addition to Megan is by far the most exciting upcoming 6-scale horror action figures, and they're both iconic characters from movies by the master of horror himself, John Carpenter. First off is this incredible figure of John Narder from They Live, as portrayed by the great Roddy Piper. This guy is certainly going to be a must-have for 1/6 horror collectors. They've managed to recreate Roddy Piper in 1/6 scale form with perfection. The head sculpt in particular is extremely impressive, with a stunning likeness to Roddy Piper, and the tailored outfit is unreal. As we can see from the photos, John Narder will come with a pistol, a shotgun, and of course those trusty sunglasses that allows him to see the world for what it truly is. And along with John Nada, we will also be getting a MacReady figure from arguably Carpenter's greatest film, 1982's The Thing, as played of course by the great Kurt Russell. I am so excited for both of these guys, and I'm so happy they're getting the 1/6 scale treatment. However, taking a closer look at MacReady, I have a few small complaints. The main one being that I think his jacket looks a bit too puffy for the figure, and the head sculpt to me is just slightly off. Maybe Kurt Russell's likeness is really hard to nail, but NECA certainly did it. So hopefully these aspects of this figure will get reworked and updated by the time of the figure's release. In terms of accessories, we can see that he is armed with his flamethrower, but it would be nice if MacReady would perhaps come with his J&B whiskey bottle and his cowboy hat, of course. Now keep in mind, the only information I have on these figures is these photos that are shown on the screen right now, so who knows, maybe he will come with additional accessories such as these. However, I can't really complain because MacReady isn't alone. He is also accompanied with the extremely grotesque dog creature as well as the infamous Norris spider head. So overall, MacReady may leave people feeling that there is much more to be desired, but John Nada, however, is practically spot on. And that brings us to the final company we'll be taking a look at today that is bringing us plenty of horror goodness in the near future. The company in question is Syndicate Collectibles, and I've got to say, if there's any fans of killer clowns from outer space watching this video, this is going to be the one for you. Right off the bat, here's a photo from the recent San Diego Comic-Con that shows bookshelves full of numerous killer clown plushies, from the killer clowns themselves to hanging cotton candy corpses, and also there's a couple of Day of the Dead plushies hidden within there as well, including Dr. Tong and of course Bub. But in terms of action figures, Syndicate have showcased their upcoming Clownzilla figure, and this guy looks insane. This is certainly a character or horror figure that is a bit left field, and Syndicate have done a magnificent job on the sculpt and paint applications of this guy. It also looks like this will be a mixed media piece, as in the photos the ruffled collar looks like it's made from a fabric. Clownzilla is in the 1/12 scale, but as the name suggests, this guy isn't going to be the standard 7 inches tall that you would normally expect, and from the photos it looks as if he will be at least 1 foot tall, so he's certainly going to be an impressive display piece. In addition to Clownzilla, Syndicate are also releasing a full-scale prop replica of the popcorn bazooka gun from the movie. Now I can't find much information on this, again it's just these photos, but from these Comic-Con images it's safe to say that this will be a really impressive and movie accurate replica, and it would be really cool if it had some kind of functionality that actually launched popcorn out. I highly doubt it, but it would be pretty cool. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And now that brings us to the penultimate collectibles we'll be taking a look at today, and it's Syndicate's upcoming Pumpkinhead collection. Fans of the 1988 cult classic will be delighted, as this includes not 1, not 2, but 3 upcoming Pumpkinhead collectibles. Pumpkinhead will be coming in a 1/12 scale standard action figure, a 1/6 scale action figure, and finally a magnificent 1/4 scale collectible statue, and all these guys look absolutely stunning. The 1/12 and 1/6 scale figures look relatively the same, besides their scale of course, and are beautifully sculpted and beautifully painted as well, packing in a ton of fantastic detail. I'm certainly going to have to pick up one of these guys for the collection without a doubt. Syndicate have done an excellent job of bringing the towering demon to collectible form, and that's shown no better than their 1/4 scale statue. This guy is an absolute beast. Of course, because this is a statue piece, Pumpkinhead will not be posable like the 6 scale and 1/12 scale figures, but is pre-posed in a very menacing stance and comes displayed on a fantastic looking display base. I can already imagine how many people are going to want this guy in their collection, me included. Now unfortunately I cannot find more information about these guys besides the fact they will be released sometime in 2024. And as we come to the final upcoming collectible showcase today, I just want to say a big thank you to whoever has made it this far in the video. Thanks for sticking with me here, and if you love these kind of videos and you're also a big lover of horror collectibles, please consider subscribing to the channel. There'll be plenty more videos like this on the way, and I'm certain that you won't regret it. Now lastly, coming from Syndicate Collectibles is the upcoming collectible that I am the most excited about, and it's none other than the king himself, Ash Williams from Army of Darkness, played of course by Bruce Campbell. Now, to be completely honest, when I saw this for the first time, I shit my pants. The Evil Dead franchise is my jam, and to see Ash receive the statue treatment again just has me ridiculously excited, and I know for certain that this guy's going to come home with me and join this collection. What makes it even better is that Ash is being released in two different scales, a 1/10 scale statue and a 1/4 scale statue. My inner collector really wants both of these guys, but I will just be going with the 1/4 scale statue. And so far the only thing I know about this statue is that it will be released sometime in spring 2024. I can't believe how stunning this statue looks. I mean, the likeness to Bruce Campbell in Army of Darkness is just unreal. They've done a great job. They seem to have got it perfect, to be honest. I also love how Ash is in his iconic "this is my boomstick" pose, and the statue base featuring the death pit is just incredible. The pit witch coming out of the pit to grab Ash's leg is also a really beautiful touch that pushes the statue to an even higher standard. The pit witch herself is also sculpted and painted perfectly. It looks just as it does in the movie, and as for the paint application, it is extremely impressive on the statue. The different tones and definition used on the prototype really bring the statue to life, so if the final released product looks as good as this production prototype, they're on for a winner. In fact, I'm so impressed with how this statue is looking. This may beat Prime 1's Evil Dead 2 1:3 scale Ash statue. Now, even though the Prime 1 statue is from Evil Dead 2, my favourite film of the franchise, and is a beautiful mixed media piece, in terms of accuracy to the films, Bruce Campbell's likeness, this statue has got that in many areas where the Prime 1 statue definitely fails. And long story short, I need this guy. So there we have it, guys. That concludes our video looking at the upcoming horror collectibles, statues and figures from various different companies. Obviously this video doesn't contain every single upcoming horror collectible, but I have managed to definitely showcase most of the stuff that was shown at recent shows such as the San Diego Comic-Con. So once again, if you stuck with the video, thank you. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a comment in the comment section below letting me know which horror collectible featured in this video is the one that you're most excited for, and one that is definitely coming home with you for your horror collection. Don't forget to check out the rest of the videos on my channel. I've got plenty of horror collectible content on here, and there's plenty more to come. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos, and until next time, guys, take care.